It's been more than a year and a half since 19-year-old Rachel Hansen was murdered inside her Gilbert apartment. With no arrests made in the case, Gilbert PD is now working with Silent Witness to help generate leads. As for Rachel's parents, they've created a dog rescue in her honor, keeping her love for animals and legacy alive.
Wonderfully sassy. That girl had a mind of her own. She was going to do what she was going to do. She just had her head on her shoulders and she knew where she was going to go. I mean, from the moment she was 5 or 6 years old and went and saddled a horse on her own.
Yeah, she was very independent. Nothing held her back or slowed her down. She could do whatever she set her mind to do.
First off, talk about the meaning and why Rachel's Rescue was created.
Rachel and I fostered together when COVID started. We fostered for a few different rescues, and it was really a passion of hers. She just loved caring for puppies, and she always said, "Mom, let's start a rescue." And I always said, "Thank you, sweetheart, for the vote of confidence, but absolutely not. I just want to take care of the puppies. I don't want to do the business end of things and the 501. So we never did. And then after a year of grieving and trying to work through losing her and figuring out how to live life without her, I decided it was time. So we started the rescue in her honor. Because that's what she wanted.
In a way, can you feel Rachel with you?
100%.
Every day.
In the way the rescue has grown and the things that have happened, the people that we've met, the puppies and litters that we've taken, we 100% feel Rachel's presence.
I don't know, I don't remember what the context was, but just a day or two ago, I said this is a godsend and Rachel's watching over us.
Yeah.
You had also said it's a way to also reach out to the community and tell them who Rachel was and let them know her story and what happened. Have you been able to do that?
Yes, 100%. And that continues to happen because more doors have opened, we've met more people, and they always want to know. First of all, they start by calling me Rachel, and then I explain that I'm her mother and the rescue is named after her. And so it just does always open the door for more conversation about what happened. And we just really believe the more people that know her story, the more that hear, word gets around, and, hopefully in doing so, we'll eventually one day get some information. Her dear friend, Emily, had helped her move her mattress and box springs there, but she was just sleeping on the box spring on the floor, and that was all. She hadn't even moved in yet. She had just gotten her real estate license and wanted to start working in real estate, working specifically with horse properties, and then helping people that had horses moving to the property, train or buy or sell or whatever. And she wanted to be closer to home. So she had that apartment just for a few days.
Now you spoke with her, you said Friday, it would have been like 9 p.m. Arizona time.
Right.
And at that point, that was going to be just a couple hours before the incident happened. And talking to her, you couldn't sense anything, right?
She was so happy. She was so happy to be in the apartment. As she said her words,
Closer to
she
home.
felt safe being close to home. Her fiance was there. They had dinner, been down to the gym and in the pool and the hot tub, and they were going to watch a movie, and she just was so happy, and everything was fine. And I said, I'll be home on Sunday and help you move in and get everything set up. And she just said, I love you, Mom. And everything was good. There was nothing indicating anything was ever going to go wrong.
Her fiance, so was she with him up until maybe around that time when she called you?
He left at midnight because he does landscaping with his dad, and they had to leave at 4:30 in the morning. So he left to go home so he could leave for work very early in the morning.
Were police able to give you a little bit of a timeline of what they think happened?
She was shot one time, and she got out of bed and grabbed her cell phone and called 911 and said, I've been shot by someone I don't know. And that's what started it.
We know about 2 a.m. That's all we really know.
She called, but from what we understand, it was very, very quick. Somebody kicked the door in, shot her, and left. There was nothing else at all that we know of. By the time somebody got there, someone from the police department, she was in her bathroom on the floor, which would be just like Rachel, because I'm sure that after she made the call, she went to try and figure out what to do to help herself. So she was alive, but not able to speak by the time they got there.
The next thing was when the police came knocking on our door at 7 o'clock, and I was here and Kim wasn't.
I was in Indiana, yeah.
She was in Indiana, yeah.
Did any of the neighbors hear anything?
Not a thing.
Social media was a buzz at that time, and I read many accounts where nobody heard a thing.
Yeah.
At 2 a.m. So it was a rather quiet gun, but there were people who talked about they had a movie going at that time.
I mean, I'm sure there was somebody living there before she moved in. Did police ever say anything like maybe that could have been something, people prior that lived there?
They did, and Gilbert PD said they fully investigated them. That's all they said.
Still part of the investigation that we don't know anything about, that we are not privy to.
How often are you hearing from detectives? You did get to speak a little bit on Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what did they tell you at that point?
Basically that the silent witness program had come out, and other than that, basically that the case was going to go inactive soon.
Because they just don't have any leads.
Ran through everything they can, and that's it.
So their hope is that getting this out there through silent witness, through a flyer and a cash reward, that will help generate leads, right?
All of our hope is that, yes. It's going to have to be somebody open their mouth and say, hey, I heard somebody talking in the bar the other night, or I heard somebody talking at the dog park, or I heard somebody in the store say, I know this guy, or I know this girl, or I know what happened. I heard somebody tell me about it. That's what it's going to come down to, is somebody is going to have to just come forward and say, I heard somebody tell me about this, and I heard that killer tell me they did it, or whatever. Something.
Did the complex have cameras at the time that maybe saw or captured something?
What we understand is they had cameras, but they were not active.
Is what Gilbert Police Department told us.
As far as we understand.
I have since contacted the apartment
cameras.
complex, and they do have active working cameras in the common areas, but not like in the hallways of each apartment.
Like driving in and out, probably.
For you, what is the most upsetting part about this?
Just the fact that we have no answers.
I just miss her.
Like, it's tragic altogether, but like a car accident or something where you could understand would be one thing. But in this, we just have no answers. Like, why? It's such a random, senseless thing.
What do you want people to know that are watching this and listening?
If you've heard something, please,
Yeah,
please talk. Please talk. We miss her badly.
yeah.
The world misses her badly. You should have known Rachel and her beautiful, beautiful heart. Oh, she was a pain like every teenager is at times. Yes, of course. Rachel was the most beautiful thing in the world. She was strong,
Yeah.
but she always was full of love.
She was so generous.
If you're out there and you know who did this, talk.
Yeah.
Please talk.
If the person who did this is watching, would you like to say anything to them?
I can tell you this, from the moment this happened, I very, very strongly made sure that there is no hate in our home. It's been hard. It's been hard. So to you out there, I've worked for 1.5 years to keep hate out of my home because of your deeds. You didn't win.
Yeah.
You did not win. Evil did not win in this because we got a really big family here and we still got full-on love. You didn't win.
And we're
Yes.
just gonna keep doing what we do and saving and loving on these pups and getting them into homes, and because I know that makes her happy. I know she's watching.
I admire that you guys are taking on this even at a time when you're still trying to heal. You have so much hope for the future and living out what Rachel would have likely done.
Yeah, she would.
She wouldn't.
She
She'd be
wouldn't.
here.
What do you want people to know about the rescue and her legacy?
It's thriving.
Her heart is here every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
They can find us on Instagram, Facebook, anything, just under Rachel's Rescue.
And the
Taking care
website
of
just basically tells the story and what we're about and what the whole thing is, and
Yeah.
some of the puppies that we've had, which we haven't updated yet, but all the alumni, so to speak, are on there.
I saw that. That's beautiful to share that because it's really showing how you're making an impact with each puppy, with each dog.
Yeah.
You know.
It's about a third of them.
Yeah, we
Wow.
need to
There's
really.
a lot more. We haven't put a lot on there.
Yeah, I
that
was
need-
going to ask, do you happen to know how many dogs you've helped save so far?
I would say about 200.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And
Many more prior to that.
yeah.
Right now, if somebody was watching, what are some of the puppies and dogs that you have right now?
Really every kind. We have some border collie pups, we have shepherd pups. Gosh, there's so many. And some that we have absolutely no idea. Like these guys are kind of a maybe boxer beagle mix. They just contact us and set up a time to come meet, and we meet with them. There is an adoption fee, which covers their spay or neuter, their microchip, all their vaccinations. Yeah, and then we invite people just to come to our home and meet the puppies, either out front or in here, and find one that they fall in love with.
It's a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
It's a one-on-one thing. They're
Yeah.
Part of having the rescue is to make sure that every puppy goes to the right place.
Yeah.
And every owner finds the right dog, and that can be, it takes time. It takes
Yeah.
time, but it happens.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful when it happens because they really do match up well when they leave, and that doesn't happen all the time. You know, they'll come. You know, some people don't bond with a certain pup or whatever, but all of the ones that we hear back from after the fact is
Which is
wonderful life.
like 100% of them. We keep in touch with all adopters, and they send us pictures and updates, and some of them come back for puppy play dates with others, and we spend as much time with all of them as we can.
Thank you for watching Arizona's Coldest Cases, an ABC15 true crime series where we team up with local law enforcement, bringing awareness to the victims and their families still awaiting justice. Each episode breaks down a single case, giving you a timeline of the investigation from where things started to where things stand now. You can watch episodes on ABC15.com, the ABC15 mobile app, Roku, YouTube, or any of your other favorite streaming devices.